What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and we got the big 3.0 Legends update that just got dropped this morning. They extended the maintenance a little bit, which is a little unfortunate, but we're supposedly getting some Chrono Crystal compensation for the extended maintenance, which is cool. But we got a lot to go over, so we are going to start off with going over the standard quality of life updates, and then we're going to do a deep dive into the Tournament of Power details and kind of go and see what that's all about. And then we'll slightly go over the new news for the new Goku and the new All-Star units. So let's jump right in. So 3.0 just dropped, and there was a lot in this particular update. Obviously, we got the new Tournament of Power, which we will be going over in detail because they dropped a bunch of details on how it's going to kind of work. They did some battle updates to PvP, so now you will be able to see which units your opponent is going to be bringing in, as well as the units that you're taking in, vice versa, which is really nice for strategizing and being able to kind of finagle your way around your opponent's team in some way. It gives you an idea of how to proceed in the battle ahead of time without, going in blind. So really nice change to that. They also updated the UI, so you now see what Zenkai level certain characters are at, which is pretty nice. In terms of standard features, they incorporated the haste feature for adventures and training. Obviously, you spend Chrono Crystals, and you can immediately complete those adventures or that training. And from what it's looking like it's not going to be too crazy. But at the same time, too, it really just depends on the amount of time in the adventure slots or in the training. In terms of that, how much CC are you going to spend? Like, is it going to be like 100 Chrono Crystals for the 23-hour adventures? It's really hard to say. But for example here, for just a half an hour or just under a half an hour for an adventure slot, it takes 10 Chrono Crystals. So 23 hours, I would imagine 100 would be feasible. Not necessarily the best update, but I guess it's a nice one for them to have added. They also made it so you can remove job requests and discard them, which is really nice. I know that by doing co-op and stuff, it gets a bit much when you want to create a bulk of a particular adventure or job, and it just constantly gives you Zenkai Awakening adventures, which you don't need. At least for me, that's my issue. So that's a nice change. And then some other improvements. They adjusted the animation for skip tickets, which is nice. I know it takes forever for that animation to actually go through. So for them to be able to adjust the animation so that way it doesn't last as long will be nice. It'll be nice to see how fast it actually works in practice. Selling equipment is now better. They increased the amount from 20 to 50, and they also added a feature which will automatically sell unwanted ranks and equipments, which is really, really cool. This one is actually a bigger deal than everything else, in my opinion. Equipment Awakening is just the worst, and especially when you're having to grind out like that little red spot in that first slot of the equipment. So it'll be really cool to be able to take out FEs and Ds with little to no excess effort, Exchange shop updates. They added equipment specifically for the Tournament of Power, which is cool. Another adjustment that they did was they improved the condition tags for easy character card number references. So now with the specific character references, they now incorporate a photo of the character so you know which unit they're actually talking about, which is a very welcome addition as well. Because I know basically the numbers that are on those character number references is basically like the banner that it released on, I guess, and what spot on that banner, I think. Something along those lines. I'm not sure. But it's annoying. It's nice to have that little image there. Added an option to skip it was Zenkai Awakening summoning animation. We've added an option to let you speed up the Zenkai Awakening process by skipping the animation. This can come in handy if you frequently play Zenkai Awakening summons. What they're referring to, I believe, is the animation that goes through all the different changes to the unit's kit. So that is also a welcome change as well, because that takes anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds depending on the unit. So very welcome change there. Other adjustments: updated the mission tab to make it easier to identify which missions can be unlocked with chrono crystals. Missions that can be unlocked with chrono crystals are under the special tab. Okay, that's all right. That's not bad. Z missions were moved to the event tab. Okay. Added element factors to the battle member selection screens for the hyperdimensional co-op and extreme clash raid. That is a nice change, if I'm understanding this correctly. If I'm understanding this correctly, I believe this is them showing what the element factors are. Because I know the big issue with that is that a lot of people go in with opposing elements and stuff, whether to just be trolling or because they aren't actually understanding what characters are actually being they need to actually bring in. So that's a nice welcome change as well. Tapping a locked mission or story with unlocked conditions will now reveal information about the items needed to unlock it. Okay, that's nice. You can now check the home screen to see if you have completed all the recommended content. To make it easier to see if you have earned a new sparking character or skip feature in summons will now stop when one is obtained. Okay, so that's like a it's kind of similar to what Dokkan does, where they highlight the SRs a little bit, or the LRs, I guess. So that's all right, I guess. We'll have to see how that is in practice in the next summoning that we do. Added message images to the PvP message detail screen. Or maybe actually going back to that, maybe what this specifically is something similar to what is it, Pokemon Masters does. Where if you skip the summoning animations, if the unit is a sparking character, it will stop and it'll show that unit. Because I know Pokemon Masters does something similar. Whenever you get like a 5-star unit in Pokemon Masters, it's just like that. So that's nice. Added message images to the PvP message details screen. PvP message details can be viewed. I assume that was already kind of in, but okay. Added a restore feature. If you suspect that you are not receiving your purchases correctly because you have been using multiple store accounts or for other reasons, please try restoring from the support menu in the top. Okay, that's nice. Issues fixed. The app may slow down for multiple Zenkai Awakened characters. Friend lobby. Ranks and awakening frames of your opponent's Zenkai Awakened characters. Game will occasionally freeze after a player logs in and begins training. If you obtain memories from the exchange shop. Okay. And yeah. So that's just a little bit here and there. Last but not least, we will continue to work hard to provide you with the most enjoyable game possible, so please do not hesitate to give us your feedback about the game in this update. All right. Very welcome changes for that. Now, let's go into the Tournament of Power and what this is all about. So, the new Tournament of Power mode is here. Form a team with your favorite characters and aim for the top spot in the Tournament of Power. This is a new mode where you form a team of 6 characters that compete against other players to gain the highest battle scored by defeating enemy teams on the map. Competitions are held over a period of time, and rankings are based on those scores. And then it's basically PvE, PvP. Leaderboards are like PvP, but the content is all PvE. Form a team. So you play 6 characters on a 3x3 board and assemble your team for a Tournament of Power. Don't forget to select backup members. You can switch in. Teams can be selected carefully. Should be selected carefully since they cannot be changed for the duration of the season unless you land on a special space. Okay. That's what kind of looks like. This is what the Tournament of Power abilities are in that particular space, it looks like. Characters have special Tournament of Powers abilities. Some characters have abilities that affect other team members, so be sure to check them out in the details. Some characters do not have abilities yet. They will be added in future updates. Okay. So this is kind of like this is like a trial version. Like the season is not officially the first season. Like it's just a kind of a test run to see what they can do differently for the first official season. Choose a space to move to. You select a space in front of you and move to it. Consume tournament participation points. Depending on the space you land on, you'll either battle, recover health, or be able to change your team composition. The health you lose during battle will carry over to the next one. Carefully consider how your team is doing before moving ahead in pursuit of the boss. About TP. TPs are used to advance through spaces on the map. They'll recover automatically over time. You can only store so many TPs, so make sure to use them regularly. Okay. So it's not like energy where you can constantly stack it up. Like so like when you have TP, definitely go in and just use it. There's an auto mode to select where you want to move. That's nice. All right, so battle spaces. There are spaces where you'll do battle with enemy teams. Claiming victory on these spaces will increase your battle score, so seek out as many as you can. Once the battle begins, the fight will be carried out automatically. Check out the enemy's team composition and difficulty level beforehand and plan accordingly. But be careful. If you lose, you'll be sent back 2 spaces. Okay, so there is a little bit of a penalty if you do not actually like progress through the thing. If you lose, you do take steps back, and that probably affects your scores as well. So, very interesting. I kind of like this. The way, just by what I'm seeing here. Although you'll recover a small amount of health after battle, the rest of the damage you receive will remain. The fierce boss awaits within the depths of the map. Keep an eye on your team status and choose your spaces carefully as you strategically swap in backup members to give yourself the best chance. Tap play battle to check how your team composition is doing in battle. Each space has a placement bonus that will boost the power of characters placed in the specific spots. So like the layout bonus down here, the very top center is a upgrade special move. So you could place a unit there for to upgrade their special move, which is cool. Make sure you check the placement bonus before diving into battle. Recovery spaces. These spaces will recover a set amount of health for all characters on your team. You should aim to land on these spaces when your health is low, since defeated characters cannot recover health after battle or on recovery spaces. Reform team spaces. These spaces let you swap the members on your party with other members in your possession. You'll also revive defeated characters and balance out the health of your team members. Consider the spaces at waiting ahead and reform your team. That's pretty cool. Okay. So, battle rules. Battles use an automatic system with 4 turns total. Characters with the fastest key recovery attacks first. Interesting. Okay. Defeat all enemy characters or deal the most damage to win. And for your team only, Rising Rush will activate at the end of the 4th turn. Okay, so Rising Rush activates at the last turn. Key recovery is basically like your speed stat, from what it seems like. It's like this version's version of your speed. So the highest key recovery attacks first, which is nice. Make the most of the Tournament of Power abilities and placement bonuses to aim to win. Aim for the top of the rankings. Battle score you earn depends on many factors, including win streak, battle difficulty, map progression, and current league. Aim for the highest battle score you can by strategically planning out your route, team composition, and abilities. You'll be promoted to the next league in the following season if you place in the top league ranks. So you get promoted and demoted based on your battle score. Okay. So kind of similar to PvP, but also not quite like PvP. You kind of just go through the ranks, and as long as you hit that certain benchmarker, which is usually every like 10 ranks or so, once you hit that next 10th of a rank, you're basically like there. Like you don't, unless you don't go into PvP next season, you'll stay at that rank. So this is a little different, whereas like your battle score will kind of determine where you land. So a little bit different, but not too different. Place at the top of the rankings when the final scores of the season are calculated to be promoted to the next league. Although enemies on battle spaces are stronger in higher leagues, you'll also earn a higher battle score. Okay. So I'm really liking what they did here. In terms of this particular season, or the preseason, let's see what they're doing specifically for this. So the preseason will end in the middle of April, April 13th. You'll earn Chrono Crystals by defeating the fierce boss waiting in the depths of the map. This season, you can bring 2 backup members. The number of backup members you can bring may change with the season. That's fair. It looks like the future and the rival universe units are going to be your boost characters. So me specifically, I have all these units, so I will probably get the most out of this particular mode. But even if you don't have LF Rosé, or 1 or 2 of these other characters, don't be discouraged from playing this mode. As they have said before, that even characters that usually aren't all that popular will actually get some shine in this mode. So obviously CC and rare medals are part of this. Join the Tournament of Power, get amazing rewards, including Chrono Crystals. Top ranking players will also be presented with a special title. So basically get in the top 6,000 and you'll get a title, which is nice. And then obviously Chrono Crystals, rare medals. Anything else to this? It's not looking like there's too much more with this. Obviously, scores reset every season. The number of backup members may change. Engaging in actions detrimental to the gameplay experience may result in exclusion from rankings. So basically, don't cheat. So yeah, that's all they got there. They introduced the Legends All-Star units, which is a brand new hit, and Goku from that filler arc and Super. Goku is blue, which sucks, but I mean, considering that he's a defense type, and there is that Zenkai Awakened other blue Goku, the other blue Goku will probably be buffing up this Goku indefinitely, so it may actually be beneficial to run either a blue-blue-purple team, or if you're not going to run blue-blue-purple, then have the Zenkai Goku on the bench and use this guy as your main defense type. People have been talking about this Goku and being not good because he's blue, but people need to understand that with the Zenkai abilities as well, plus stats, plus we don't know exactly what his kit's going to look like after release. Like, you cannot judge a unit based off the color that they are at. You need to judge a unit based off their kits and their actual viability. It's a little unfair to just write this Goku off. Considering that he's a defensive type, and he's going to be getting those Zenkai Awakenings, I have a feeling this guy is going to be pretty good. And that revival mechanic, it obviously is detrimental for future and androids and regens with Red Cell. So this is going to be very detrimental for God Ki and Saiyans. And then this hit looks really cool as well. So excited to see what their kits are going to look like tonight. We'll do a breakdown of their character, of their actual, breakdowns and kits. And then obviously the new Ultra Rarity Goku is going to be coming as well. We'll kind of go over the details here, although there's not much here. In the next update, there will be an event where you can get Super Saiyan Goku. Not only will you get Super Saiyan Goku, you will be able to limit break him through certain events. The only way to participate is to include Goku as a battle member, this Goku right here. If you haven't received him, you can get him in the Rare Metal Shop. It doesn't look like there's going to be a Zenkai for this character. It doesn't look like he's going to get a buff, although a lot of people were saying that this guy is going to awaken into this Goku, and that's just not right. He's just a character that you need to be able to do the event. So just keep that in mind when you're going forward and getting ready to do this event. I would probably recommend, because this guy is not good. He is not as good as he used to be back in year 1. I would probably theorize and I recommend that everybody get this guy to 14 stars if you haven't done so already, because he's going to need every little bit of boost that he's going to get, depending on how difficult this event's going to be. But yeah, that is going to be it for this. I mean, obviously there's a login celebration as well, and you get 300 CCs for logging in all 7 days and 1,000-day medals and blah, blah, blah. So that's going to do it for this update, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching. If you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out into the comments. I am definitely going to be diving into the Tournament of Power. I will be releasing a video with my first attempt going into this. So it should be interesting. Should be a good time. But with that said, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Later.